A very warm welcome, very warm welcome to all of you on our session this morning. As you may be aware, we are having these sessions daily thrice for seekers who have made an attempt or want to understand Sahaja Yoga, the basics. What is it exactly? Essentially, the idea is to give you a brief about why Sahaja. And especially today's session, that is Sunday mornings, 8 a.m. one, we have kept for targeting youngsters, why they need it, and why should they take up to Sahaj. Because it becomes very difficult for at times for people to connect, especially the young generation today, as to why should I do meditation, etc. So that was the idea, and this is the only session in English. There's one session on Saturday morning in Marathi. Rest all sessions are in Hindi, which are daily at 8 a.m. In the afternoon at 4:15, and in the evening at 7:45 p.m. Apart from this, we also have a daily meditation session for seekers who have understood the basics now and want to go a little bit into the depth of meditation and knowing more about Sahaja. So that is held at 5:30 p.m. every day again on the same YouTube channel and this same Zoom link. So what we'll do today, in fact, is a little different than the daily sessions that we have. Is go through a few slides that we've built, and just from a conceptual point of view, to understand some of the basics, and then address some of the issues that we have, and then we go for meditation at the very end. In the end, if you want to connect and talk about something or ask some questions, you can do that by joining the Zoom link or by leaving them on the YouTube chat. So now let's start session. So what are we saying here? That we de-stress ourselves, balance ourselves, and get a total well-being through Sahaja. This is the proposition. And here we're talking about an actual transformation inside. It's not just talk, but you should do this, you should do that. So your life will be better. So stop doing this, stop doing that. It's not a lot of mental projection and advice that we are talking about here, but actual inner transformation through which we make our lives better. So the young generation today is under immense pressure. I mean, it's very easy to understand that, and the reason behind is several fold. There are so many things that are sort of affecting the young today, but primarily it is about the competition around that you see people around you. What are they doing? The aggressive environment. People are going all out to achieve something, and I should also achieve, and all of that comes in. And it's a mad race that's been going on for some time. That has a lot of bad effects on the young generation that we have today. And so our minds are full of worry. And this just starts at uh, late school times and colleges, and then you go into jobs, and just things don't stop ever. But when you're sort of coming into that age and understanding, that's when I think the most stress is there for students and youngsters and college going professionals and all of those people, because that's just a discovery of people around you and what they're doing. And after that, maybe life does get settled a little bit, but there's a lot of stress still. But at this time, we are having all these things in our minds. We have to get admission into the right colleges, and we have to succeed. What are our friends doing, the competition around, and what will our family and distant family say when we get admitted to this college or get this job or etc. Apart from all of this, there's also our own personality that is sort of coming up as we grow up. And we think of ourselves as how do I look, how do I appear, how do I speak, the opposite sex, how they think of me, and all of that just makes the whole thing a complete hodgepodge in our heads. It's a very difficult time for sure. Now, what this does to us, this makes us lose confidence. All of this stress, so what happens is that either they're going into a lot of aggression. So that person becomes very aggressive, very hard with himself and others. So a very difficult person if he remains aggressive. And if he's not able to achieve things that we had planned, then we lose confidence. And such people who are always worried lose memory and they become less attentive, which further results into worse performance, and then the cycle goes on because we are again depressed and lose confidence. Of course, living in a stressful environment, and life does not remain as enjoyable as it should have been. It's a restless, impatient, irritable life. That's what we are seeing in teens and young folks today. And that is why they're running off into wrong things, so many wrong things, because just not happy with their lives. It's a miserable life for many, and this is not that people plan for themselves growing up. Of course, all of this leads to a lot of problems that are also physical. Um, until, let's say, a few decades ago, people never thought of connecting our mental state with our physical state. In 1970, when Shree Mataji, Nirmala Devi, whose photograph you can see behind me, she started Sahaja Yoga. She made all of this correlation because we are a complete being. We're not just this career. We're not just this personality. We are not just a relationship. We are a complete personality. And one thing has the effect on another. So Srimataji stressed on all of this and explained exactly how this affects our internal organs as well. So such people with a lot of stress, today we know that um, young people are getting heart attacks and diabetes and so many other problems, hypertension, and they just get stressed out so much that a lot of nerves related problems are also coming up. It's really scary to see all of that. But also on the other side, what is happening is that people are taking to smoking, drinking, drugs, and whatnot. Because we saw that in all of this competitions creates that stress, and not achieving that then makes people run away a little bit, or some respite is required from all of this to continue. So people go into wrong things, and that again ruins their lives very badly. There's so many things that are listed out here which sort of connect with the stress that we're talking about. So what will our elders tell us? That stop stressing. Our friends will tell us, don't take stress, whether it's okay, you can do what you like, you can achieve whatever you want, it's fine, everybody's different, etc., etc., etc. But what happens is that maybe for a few minutes we may rest down a bit, but we never really stop stressing and start living. The reason is that we are living in this world, um, spiritually. This is the Maya and the Maya all around us, and there's no escape from it. You have to live in it. And when you see people around you, you again start doing the same way, and you start thinking less of yourself, and then stress, and I should do this, I should do that. It's a complete great setup, really, which is very difficult to get out of. So people also try some good things, which are maybe exercises, running, jogging, and some daily routine that does not allow you to think all the time. That keeps you off. Even art sometimes gives some respite for people to get out of all of this. But even art can become stressful if you get competitive there. That's a different topic. But this does give some temporary relief. But what are we talking about here is something that can give you a permanent state. That is something you can always turn to and get into a state that is definitely less stressful and much more enjoyable for your life. So that can happen through meditation, which is why meditation is important. So the question is, what is meditation? How do I meditate? And what is it that I'm supposed to expect in meditation? All of this has become a big jumble in our heads because today meditation has become such a complicated thing and it's so widely talked about, written about. So many people have come up to teach meditation, which are all different types of meditation, so many names of meditation. So one doesn't really know what to take to in meditation because the simple fact is that even though this is our ancient heritage in the great country of ours, today we don't know what to expect and how to do and what to do. And it's really a complete um, messed up thing right now in terms of yoga and meditation. So, what are we saying here is that our growth happens through meditation. We'll come to the questions that we just raised. But what happens through meditation, what is supposed to happen, is our awareness grows through meditation. Now, these are all big words, but uh, simply put, see, if we live in a stressful environment where it's like an earth is always shaking, you plant a seed there, it may sprout, but for it to become a tree in an earth that is shaking always, it's next to impossible. Whereas if that earth is settled down, that is only when that tree can grow, which is metaphorically here our awareness. In meditation, we come into silence and we come into thoughtless awareness. This is in itself the biggest boon of meditating. So, what is meditating? Why do we get the silence? The thing is that even right now, when you are listening and seeing this session, you're thinking of something. Maybe that after this, I'll do that, then I'll go there, then I'll do this. Maybe I'll go and watch a movie. Or maybe you're thinking, oh, yesterday I did this. Oh, last month I should have done that. Last year I didn't do this. I could not get into that college or that job, etc. etc. So we are all the time either in the future or in the past, and the thoughts just keep coming. We are never in the present. It's like a pendulum that keeps going on from here to there, here to there. It's like a sine curve that we've seen in physics. A thought rises, it drops, another rises, drops. We just keep on jumping from the cusp of one to another, one to another. And they could be aggressive thoughts, depressed thoughts, future, past, whatever. But we just don't we are not in the present and we don't relax our mind at all. Even while sleeping, we are thinking. So that peace of mind comes when there's a difference or there's a distance set in between these thoughts. In spiritual Sanskrit language, it's called as vilamp, which is nothing but just that pause in our thoughts. We can think whenever we want in meditation, but at least we are in control of when we think, what we think. So we get into that silence through meditation. So the question comes in, what is unique about Sahaja Yoga? Because we said that there are so many yogas today, so many meditation methods that one just does not know what to take up and why to take up one of them. There are people who go and try every other meditation that is out there. So many gurus and so many organizations have come up. It's very difficult for uh, as folks to really know what to expect and what should happen. So there are many ways to talk about this, and the most important bit to talk about is the word Sahaj itself. This was coined by Shree Mataji Nirmala Devi in 1970 when she started Sahaj Yoga. It's a completely free of cost organization. You don't have to pay for anything anywhere. And it's now in about 150 countries. It's not advertised and, as much as other organizations because we don't deal with money. That was one of the first conditions Shree Mataji put in, that you cannot pay for it. It's absolutely invaluable. And uh, essentially, the idea that gurus who take money for such stuff are not really gurus, one should understand, because a guru is on a higher state altogether. Now, the words Sahaj and yoga, let's understand both of them. Sahaj is something we understand in Hindi, it's very simple, something very simple, and also Sahaj, it happens on its own, spontaneous. All living processes. Now, what are living processes? Like the sprouting of a seed, the turning of a flower into a fruit, birth of a baby, our breathing, our digestion, all of this is Sahaj, is spontaneous. So every living process is spontaneous. Our evolution has also been spontaneous. Now we're talking about evolution here from meditation. So why? Because through meditation, we achieve the next last big breakthrough of our evolution. Up until now, our evolution has happened. We did not cut our tails to become human beings from monkeys, right? It happened on its own. Now, our evolution does not need to happen physically, but on a spiritual level. When we get our last breakthrough and we get connected with the divine. Up until now, we have not been connected with the divine. We have been working on our own, but we know that the divine is all around us. We keep hearing that all the time. So that connection is the last breakthrough of our evolutionary process. And that process is a living process. Now we said that all living processes are spontaneous. We have agreed on that. So this connection with the divine is also supposed to be a sahaj, spontaneous process. Now the word yoga, if you look at it, today it's really misinterpreted a lot. Yoga means the union. It literally in Sanskrit means the union of the self with the divine, the Atma with the Paramatma. That is what this is really. So what we are talking about is the spontaneous union. This is a name coined by Shree Mataji to explain this. Now also Sahaja. Saha means with, Ja means born, something that is born with us. It is all built in, it is all ready for us to get it. Just we have to put the plug into the mains and the light comes in. So that is Sahaj Yoga. Now, another very interesting thing about the word yoga, as Shree Mataji describes it, is also the yukti, the kaushalam, to really know and work upon ourselves. So what happens in Sahaj Yoga? What is it that we are supposed to expect? We are supposed to expect that we get to know ourselves. Our self-realization happens. What does that mean? That for the first time, we know our own internal chakras. What is wrong? What is right? We feel them on our fingertips. These chakras are connected to our fingertips. We'll come to that slide just after this one. And we feel what is wrong with us. Today, you may go to the doctor and the doctor may just tell you, oh, you have a few months left to live. You're like, I have no idea about myself. What am I going through? Or you have this disease, that disease. And some people just don't know about themselves at all. And others think something of them, which they can't even tell these folks. But for the first time, you know for sure what you are. It's an absolute thing. It's an absolute knowledge. You know this about yourself. You can know this about anyone. And you can use this power that starts flowing through. We talked about the power that is all around us, that starts flowing through us. We feel it on our hands and we can use it for the good and betterment of people around us, for ourselves as well. This is such a scientific thing that when you put it to use, that is when you really know. So that's how we are talking about knowledge seekers diagnosing themselves and curing their own problems. It's a natural thing, and it's referred by many scientists who have done even PhDs in India and Russia, and it's been referred to as a meta science, and something that you have can achieve freely on your own, practice on your own. As much as you practice it, you know more and more and learn it. It's something totally incredible, and it's a living process, as we said. Now, because we have touched upon the chakras and all of that, very briefly, we'll look at this chart and have a very small discussion on it. The reason is that when we go into meditation, you may end up having some questions which may be answered here. So now this chart we may have already seen, many of us would have seen this by now. We are coming into a stage and age where people are discussing this internal subtle system. So we are not just this external body and organs and this mind and these thoughts and emotions. There is an internal subtle system as well, like this. So when we were in our mother's womb, the power that created us, you may be from any religion, any belief, whatever power you may call that, but the power that created us entered through our fontanel bone area at the top of our head. So at the top of our head, as kids, we had a very soft bone. If you have kids around, you may check, or very small toddlers. It's a soft space and it even pulsates in very young kids because this energy entered from here. And our brain being a prism kind of an entity, this energy, when it enters, it refracts into three parts. And the one that comes from the right goes to the left, which is in the blue. The one coming from left goes to the right, which is in the yellow. The one in the center comes down and creates these chakras, as we call them. Now, all of this creation on the subtle side, are called as chakras and nadis. But on the physical and gross level, they are manifested as our nervous system. So our sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system are taken care of by these three channels. And all our plexuses are taken care of by these chakras. So our complete physical being, our mental being, emotional being, spiritual being are governed by these chakras and nadis all together. So our complete creation happens by this great power. Once all of this creation is done inside us, it comes and settles down at the end of our spine. Almost the end of our spine, there's a triangular shaped bone called as sacrum bone. Very interestingly, this was called as sacrum, which means sacred by the Greeks. So they knew of it at some level that this is a sacred bone because there is some power residing here. When this power comes, it makes coils. It makes 3.5 coils. Coils in Sanskrit is kundal, and this being our mother power is called as kundalini shakti. This is the pure desire inside us of connecting with the divine. Today we have many desires, innumerable desires, and all of them we keep achieving and we never satisfy. This is the pure one whose fulfillment gives us the truth satisfaction. Now, awakening of this kundalini and piercing through the fontanel bone again to connect with the divine power all around us is what is done in the name of yoga. Through the ages past, this is what has been done. This is what yoga is. And any other part that you think as yoga is not the yoga that has been talked about. So, for example, we understand today as asanas as yoga, doing yoga asanas. But that was a wee bit, a very small part of the Ashtanga yogas that Patanjali described. So that was the time period when you would go, do the penances, yam, niyam, pranayam, pratyahar, etc. There were 8 parts of it. And out of that 8, one had one part as asana. Because you need to keep yourself fit as well to do this practice of meditation research. That is why so many things were laid out. So, what will happen in meditation right now? We're going to go for meditation just after this. Is that this this Kundalini rises and pierces through this vertebral bone area? This power starts flowing through us, and we feel it at the top of our head, just above, few inches above our head, and on our palms as cool breeze, or it may be hot at the time when we start off. And we feel these chakras on our fingertips. You can see that the chakras are numbered and connected to our fingers because this is manifested on our nervous system. So the end points of our nervous systems are on our hands and on our legs, but it's most easy to see on our hands in meditation. So the chakras that are not all right, you may feel some a little burning or tingling sensation on those fingers. So why the cool breeze? Now the question will come, and the answer to that is this has been described in many scriptures. In so let's say one of the great sages of our country who sort of established a lot of the Hindu religion is called as Adi Shankaracharya. He was the first one and the original one, really. And he put up a book called Saundarya Lahari, which means beautiful vibrations. He says that when Mother's grace dawns upon us, we feel Salilam Salilam Chaitanya, means cool, cool vibrations. It's been described as Ritambara Pragya, Chaitanya Lahari, in many of our scriptures. In Quran, it said that when Qiyamah's time will come, resurrection time will come, your hands will speak and will give witness against you. Truly, we get to know what is wrong with us, what are we doing wrong, etc. In Bible, it is said that when Holy Ghost will come, you'll feel the cool breeze. There are many such citations, but it's been lost on us through the ages because nobody has felt it, nobody really knows it, and why should one talk about which they don't understand? Uh, so we'll move on. Now, the most important bit, and there's a lot to talk about in Sahaja Yoga. You can learn more and more by joining these sessions and getting to Shree Mataji's speeches. They are in thousands in Hindi, Marathi, and English languages. But the most important thing is that we get this experience right now. And with that, we establish ourselves. So there are a few steps that we will do, which will help us in getting into meditation. So what you can do is just see these steps right now with your eyes open. Later on, we'll do them with our eyes closed. So in the first step, we put our left hand in our lap and put the right hand on the Mother Earth. We're made of the 5 elements and we use them a lot in meditation to cleanse ourselves and balance ourselves. So this is the first step. After this, we keep the right hand in our lap and put the left hand bent from elbow towards the sky like this. In the next step, we put both the hands towards the earth. You can also go on doing these steps right now. So just to reiterate how we are sitting is like this, either on a chair or on the ground, and put our palms open in our lap. Now the next step is where we keep the left hand open in our lap and put the right hand on our heart. Left hand in our lap, right hand on our heart. We'll do some prayers here when we meditate. Then we put the left hand in our lap and the right hand on our forehead. Left hand remains in our lap, the right hand on our forehead. We'll bend our head forward a little and we'll have some prayers here. And then we'll place this hand at the top of our head. We'll stretch our palm completely and place the center of our palm at the top of our head and move it in a clockwise direction. You can see how it is being moved so that the scalp moves along with the palm in a clockwise direction while pressing it. After this, we'll see vibrations coming out of her head as a step. Now, these are all the steps that we have. A logical mind would question that is just doing some steps, moving your hands and doing some prayers. Is that enough for us to get what we're talking about, something so fantastic, something so great of self-realization and our Kundalini awakening, our yoga? So the answer to that question is no. It has been uh, a tradition in our great country where our guru gives realization to a shishya. In the past, it was one guru, one shishya. Today, the time has come when the Sahaja has become Mahayoga. And amas, thousands of people are getting their self-realization. This has happened because of Shree Mataji's advent. Her photograph emits those vibrations that makes it possible for us to get our realization. I always use this example. Shivaji Maharaj, the great, we know him, once asked his guru, who was a realized soul, Ramdas Swami, how long does it take for one to get their self-realization? He answered that, O king, the time that you take one leg of yours from one side of the horse to the other side. That's how long it takes. Means that shan, that very second. But there must be someone who can give it and someone who can take it. Please accept my proposition when I say that Shree Mataji is the one who can give it to us. She was an enlightened person, and we have very few people who were enlightened, and none of them were photographed. Her photograph is very special. So, what we'll do is sit in a comfortable position, cross-legged. If on the ground, if on the chair, you can put your legs apart and open our palms in our lap. Keep them open as if you're asking for something. And look at Shree Mataji's photograph with complete respect and humility. With the only thought in mind that I want my self-realization. I want to achieve my higher self. Slowly we'll close our eyes and bring our attention inside. Let's see if we are able to bring our attention inside. Throughout the steps that we will do now, which we have just seen, we'll just keep seeing what happens inside and on our palms. Now, we'll keep the left hand open in our lap as is and put the right hand on the Mother Earth. Left hand in our lap, right hand on the Mother Earth. We had seen that there are three main channels inside us. It is important to balance them before we go into meditation. And the three steps right now are for doing that. So here in this step, where our right hand is on the Mother Earth, left hand is in our lap, we will pray, Mother, please clear out my left channel through the Mother Earth. Please take out all the impurities and negativities of this channel through the Mother Earth. We'll bring our attention to our left palm See what is happening here. Mother, please take out all the imbalances and impurities of my left channel through the Mother Earth. Now we'll bring the right hand back into our lap and put the left hand towards the sky, bent from our elbow. Here we'll pray, Mother, please take out all the impurities and imbalances of my right channel through the ether element. Mother, please take out all the imbalances and impurities of my right channel through the ether element. Please also bring your attention to both of our palms and see what is happening there. Mother, please take out all the impurities and negativities, imbalances of my right channel through the ether element. Now we'll bring both the hands and place them on the Mother Earth. Here we have to pray, Mother, whatever impurities and imbalances are still left in my left and right channels, please take them out through the Mother Earth. Mother, whatever impurities and imbalances are still left in my left and right channels, please take them out through the Mother Earth. Mother, please bring me into complete balance. Mother, please bring me into the present, into the center. Now we'll bring our hands back into our laps. For the next steps, we'll keep the left hand as is in our lap and use only our right hand. So we'll keep the left hand in our lap and place the right hand on our heart. Press it so that we feel our heartbeat as well. Here resides the spirit inside all of us. Spirit is the reflection of God Almighty inside us and is a witness to all that we do, but it is not yet in our attention. So we have to assert a great truth, which is, Mother, I am the pure spirit, not this body, mind, thoughts, emotions, this personality, this relation, whatever we think of ourselves. Mother, I am not all of this. I am but the pure spirit. And this is a real truth because all of these things are momentary. The only eternal thing is the spirit inside us. So we say it with full confidence that, Mother, I am the pure spirit. Mother, I am the pure spirit. Mother, I am the pure spirit. And as I am the pure spirit, I am not guilty of anything. Most of us feel guilty for nothing at all. So we say it with full confidence that, Mother, I am not guilty at all. It's imperative that we don't feel guilty because if we feel guilty, there's a chakra that catches up, and because of that, we don't feel the vibrations at all in our hands. Because the nerves of our chakra, our hands come from that chakra. So we say it with full confidence that, Mother, as I am the spirit, I am not guilty at all. Now we bring this hand to our forehead and place it across like we would in a headache. Place our right hand across our forehead and press from both sides and bend our head forward a little. Right hand on our forehead across, pressing from both sides, and our head is bent forward a little. Here we need to forgive everyone. We actually don't do anything if we don't forgive, but we just play into the hands of people who have done us wrong. Whereas if we forgive, we leave it to God to take over. So we say, and we really do, Mother, I forgive everyone. Mother, I forgive everyone, myself included. Mother, I forgive everyone. You don't need to remember anybody's name, just a blanket forgiveness to all. Mother, I forgive everyone. Also, if any mistakes have been done by me knowingly or unknowingly, oh God, please forgive me. Oh God, if I have done any wrong against you, knowingly or unknowingly, please forgive me. And we do this without feeling guilty. Now, again, this right hand is to be brought at the top of our head. We can rest our hand a little if it is tired, but then bring it back at the top of our head, which was a soft bone when we were kids, and place this right hand at the top of our head and press it with our fingers outstretched. Press our palm at this fontanel bone area. While pressing our palm, we'll move it in a clockwise direction so that our scalp moves along while pressing. Here, we must ask for it very ardently and very respectfully. It cannot happen without us asking for it truly. So we have to say that, Mother, please give me my self realization. Mother, please give me my Atma Sakshatkar. Mother, please give me my self realization. Mother, please give me my yoga, a union with the divine. Mother, please give me my self realization. Mother, please give me my self realization. Mother, please may I have my self realization. Stop moving our hand and bring it back into our lap. We'll keep our attention where our hand was just now and sit for a few seconds in meditation. Now we'll bring our attention to both of our palms. At the center of our palms, you might be feeling cool or hot breeze in one hand or both the hands. It's a very subtle feeling, so we'll look at it very minutely. Also, we'll bring our attention to the tips of our fingers and thumbs. In one or two fingers, in one hand or the other hand, we might be getting itchy, tingling sensation. This must be because of those chakras not being all right. Some people may also feel their hands going heavy due to some problems which can be easily corrected. Now, once again, we'll bring a right hand at the top of our head where we had pressed and moved the scalp, the fontanelle bone area, and raise it just a few inches above the fontanelle bone area, and move it back and forth. You'll feel cool vibrations coming out of your head and touching your palm on a very particular spot. Again, a subtle feeling, so we'll look at it minutely and we'll move our hand to make sure we're feeling it from a particular place. Now bring the right hand back into our lap and check the same thing from a left hand. A left hand placed a few inches above our fontanelle bone area. We'll move it back and forth, left, right to see. Now bring the left hand back into your lap and see the same thing from your right hand once again. Just a few inches above your fontanelle bone area. Now, as a last step, we'll put both the hands completely stretched up towards the sky, elbow straight, and open our palms towards the sky and push back our head. Here we have to ask one of these three questions. Oh God, is this the Param Chaitanya? Is this the divine energy, cosmic energy? Is this the power of love of God that does everything? Three times you can ask any one of these three questions. You can bring your hands back into your lap. In response to those questions, the vibrations would have improved on your hands. Once again, we'll keep our attention at the top of our head and sit for quiet meditation for a few seconds. Now we can slowly open our eyes and look at Shree Mataji's photograph. Right now, you'll find that there are no thoughts and there is complete silence and bliss. We'll bring both our hands together in a namaskar to Shree Mataji and our Kundalini mother inside. Thank them for this blissful experience. For those of us who have recently joined, I'd like to say that this is like the sprouting of a seed. It needs daily water and sunlight in the form of meditation at home, just 5 to 10 minutes in the morning and in the evening, and once in a week, collective meditation. It's very important that we go for collective meditation. There are centers all across the world now, in most of the cities in the country. You can simply find them or ask us about them and do visit them. You'll find that vibrations flow improves and your state improves by going into collective meditation. Also, there are a few methods of protecting yourself, of giving bandhans, of doing foot soak to cleanse ourselves. We must do these to keep ourselves all right and to cure any problems also that we may have. These are all very easy to learn on our YouTube channel. You'll find all of this is easily available. We also have a WhatsApp group which you can join and learn more about it. We'll be putting up those links just now on the YouTube chat box as well. Again, somebody has asked in Hindi about speaking in Hindi. तो उनको बता दें कि रोज कार्यक्रम हिंदी में ही है। तीनों कार्यक्रम दिन में हिंदी में होते हैं। सिर्फ एक ये कार्यक्रम आज रविवार सुबह इंग्लिश में रखा गया है और एक कार्यक्रम शनिवार सुबह 8 बजे मराठी में रखा गया है। तो आप किसी भी सेशन को ज्वाइन कर सकते हैं। For those of us who might have joined us late, we have 3 sessions every day, one in the morning at 8 a.m., one in the afternoon at 4:15, and one in the evening at 7:45 p.m. All these 3 sessions are for new seekers to learn about Sahaja on the same YouTube channel and Zoom link. Other than that, we have one session at 5:30 p.m. for deeper meditation for seekers who have understood the basics and now want to go deep into meditation. We have pasted the links for joining our WhatsApp group, which you can do to learn more. Also, you can see the link of the centers around you to go to the centers. Thank you so much, Shree Mataji, for today's session. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Jai Shri Mataji.